Not every single released by a superstar artist is guaranteed to dominate the charts. And in this video, we'll look at songs that were supposed to blow up but didn't. Small Talk by Katy Perry. Katy Perry's Small Talk was released on August 9, 2019 as a standalone single in the lead up to her album Smile. It was released alongside the lead single Never Really Over, which peaked at number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100, co-written with Charlie Puth. The song's quirky, retro-inspired music video, featuring Katy talking to a dog, garnered over millions of views in its first week, and it was supposed to build buzz for the album. With Katy's track record at the time, many expected Small Talk to be a top 40 hit. Despite the build-up, it flopped hard. It debuted at number 81 on the Billboard Hot 100 and quickly dropped off. On the pop airplay chart, it peaked at number 36, a far cry from her previous successes. Globally, it didn't do much better and failed to connect. Ultimately, Small Talk ended up being more of a filler in Katy's discography rather than a memorable moment. It's not really remembered today, as it wasn't even included on the album. Dr. Work It Out by Miley Cyrus and Pharrell Williams. Anticipation for Doctor was high when it dropped in early 2024, originally a shelved collaboration between Miley Cyrus and Pharrell Williams from the Bangers era. The song's release nearly a decade later was her return to her experimental roots, coming off her endless summer vacation era. With the huge hit Flowers, many fans thought the song would become a streaming smash or a TikTok favorite. The song barely registered commercially. It peaked at number 74 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had modest streaming numbers, now sitting on 56 million streams on Spotify. The retro funk beat felt weird and outdated, and critically the song received mixed reviews, with many not liking its lack of a clear hook. What makes the song a clear example of a supposed hit is the disconnect between expectations and results. It has only been a year, but I'm sure you'll barely remember the song. Every Day by Ariana Grande featuring Future. Released in February 2017 as the fourth single from Ariana Grande's third studio album Dangerous Woman, Every Day was built to be a radio smash. Produced by Swedish hitmaker Ilya and featuring rapper Future, who was on fire at the time, the song blended pop and trap influences with a repetitive hook that fit the era's sound. Coming off the back of monster hits like Into You and Side to Side, expectations for Every Day was high, with the label banking on it to continue the streak. However, the song underperformed on the charts. It peaked at a modest number 55 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it the lowest charting single from the album. On Spotify, it has now reached over 600 million streams, which is not bad. Trails behind the other Dangerous Woman singles by hundreds of millions of streams. Even the unique music video, which featured couples of all kinds making out in public spaces, couldn't really turn the tide. Every Day had all the ingredients of a hit, but the promotion around the song was minimal. But it didn't have that earworm quality of Ariana's biggest hits. Blow by Ed Sheeran with Bruno Mars and Chris Stapleton. In 2019, Ed Sheeran surprised fans by teaming up with Bruno Mars and the country star Chris Stapleton for Blow, a hard rock track from his number 6 collaborations project. The combination of the three musical heavyweights was unusual and immediately headline-grabbing. With Ed's dominance in pop, Bruno's unmatched charisma, and Chris's gritty vocals, the song seemed destined to become a hit, but it barely made a dent. It peaked at number 60 on the Billboard Hot 100, a big drop-off compared to the project's other singles like I Don't Care with Justin Bieber, which peaked at number 2. Blow struggled to find its place, likely because of its unexpected hard rock sound, which didn't fit the typical sound of any of the three artists. It was quickly overshadowed by other tracks from the album and disappeared from the charts in just 2 weeks. Critics were mixed on the song, and fans were confused. In retrospect, the song shows that name recognition alone doesn't guarantee chart dominance, especially when the song is far from expectations. In the Morning by Jennifer Lopez. When Jennifer Lopez released In the Morning in November 2020, many thought it was going to be a comeback hit. The song was a mid-tempo pop and R&B banger, tapping into the dreamy aesthetics trending at the time. Released in the thick of the pandemic era, it was J-Lo's first major solo release following the renewed interest she got thanks to her Super Bowl halftime show performance with Shakira, in early 2020, which brought her some serious buzz. There was optimism that In the Morning could re-establish her chart dominance. The song also had interesting visuals, which premiered exclusively on the app Thriller. However, despite her fame and strategic rollout, In the Morning failed to gain traction. It did not chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and was a complete failure. On Spotify, it struggled to maintain momentum and is now sitting on less than 20 million streams. Despite J-Lo's legendary status, she has struggled to make an impact in the 2020s, and In the Morning ended up as a missed opportunity to revitalize her career. Good Kisser by Usher. Usher's 2014 single Good Kisser was marketed as his grand return to R&B. After dabbling in EDM crossover hits like Scream, he pivoted back to his roots with a percussion-heavy R&B sound that tried to get back his early 2000s glory days. Released as the lead single from his next album, it was supposed to be a big hit. Despite strong early buzz and him performing it all over the place, Good Kisser underperformed commercially. It debuted and peaked at number 65 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was underwhelming for an artist with multiple #1 hits under his belt. The song's minimalist production did not connect, even though it earned a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Performance later on. Ultimately, the song's lukewarm performance meant that it was left off his album's standard edition, and it started off an uncertain era in Usher's career. GUI by Lady Gaga. During the polarizing rollout of her art pop album in 2013, Lady Gaga released GUI as the third single. With a big, nearly 12-minute music video shot in a castle, the song was meant to be a chart hit. Following up Applause and Do What You Want, it was meant to give the era a boost. Gaga even performed it live on The Late Show with David Letterman. But despite this high-profile push, the song peaked at just number 76 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it one of her lowest charting singles. GUI was supposed to be a big moment for art pop, an album that opened at number 1 on the Billboard 200, but quickly lost momentum. The song itself had that EDM pop production by Zedd, and it gained moderate traction in clubs, reaching number 9 on the Dance Club Songs chart. But its lack of radio support, coupled with the backlash surrounding art pop's rollout, meant that the single never connected with the mainstream audience. Looking back, it is now often viewed as a cult favorite among the Little Monsters, but it never got to become a commercial hit. K-Pop by Travis Scott featuring Bad Bunny and The Weeknd. In 2023, Travis Scott was looking to start off his new Utopia era on a high note after the whole Astroworld Festival tragedy and his response to it, which put him in hot water. He recruited Bad Bunny and The Weeknd for the lead single K-Pop in order to make sure it would become an instant global hit, but it debuted on number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and quickly plummeted in the following weeks. It became an afterthought as time went on. K-Pop was meant to be an anthem for the summer, but it was really underwhelming. Despite its initial success, it was widely criticized for its lack of cohesion and energy. The song struggled to find its footing, and considering the high-profile names involved, it was a failure. The song was quickly overshadowed by Utopia's other stronger singles like Fiend and Meltdown. It was designed to be a moment, but it didn't connect with the fans as it lacked the memorable hook needed to keep attention. Which songs that were supposed to blow up but didn't did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.